Luke Evans has long entertained audiences on the West End and the silver screen, playing characters including Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, to name but one. For the first time, he's also recorded a studio album reimagining some classics from across genres, including the title track, At Last, and this famous ballad.
We are young.
Where he's been signing copies of his CD for people in our gallery.
Getting a freebie
press
there.
conference, you were able to do a little bit of that. Reimagining classics, songs that you've chosen because you like them or because they suit your voice?
A bit of both, actually. Songs I've sung for a very long time, things I like to sing when I'm on my own, things I've sung since I was a teenager. And weirdly, a lot of them are songs sung by women that have never been covered by men, which is a strange thing that only happened but when we brought the number of 60 songs I chose down to 12 and realized 80% of them were by women. So that was an interesting thing in itself. It took a different life. Each track, when you hear the words sung by a man, and the song has been rearranged, tempo has been restructured, orchestration, they just sound very different, which is an interesting approach.
Is this a hobby? I don't mean that facetiously, because you've really built up quite a body of work in films. You've broken in, you've done some, box office stuff. You're an established screen star. You don't need to go in a new direction.
It's not a new direction. That's the thing. Most people would have the same reaction because they know me from my movies. But I actually was a singer before I was a film actor.
West End stuff.
West End stuff, and before that, I sang in the valleys of South Wales. I used to do Eisteddfod's competition. Singing was my dream. It's always been the thing I've loved the most. So, really, it's full circle to actually get to do the album. But the album only really has come about because of what I've done on film and getting an international profile. More people want to hear me sing, so it's all helped each other in a way.
Talk to me about singing in Wales. My good Welsh friend gets depressed now at the international match in Cardiff when they have to help the crowd along, he says. And that idea of the chapel colliery choir, whatever it was, that amazing choral tradition in Wales. What's its current state of health?
Oh, I think it's probably alive and kicking, especially with how great our Welsh rugby team has been playing.
It was a World Cup.
There's nothing quite like being in what I call Cardiff Arms Park, but it's now the Millennium Stadium, the Principality Stadium. But hearing the anthem being sung and the hymns being sung, it's a lovely thing that is generational. It doesn't matter what generation you are, it's still, everybody knows those songs. And
it's just so good for you, isn't it? Somebody was telling me the other day that when you get people together in a choir and they sing for a bit...
it's therapy.
It's therapy, and it's actually... It's physiological as well as psychological in the sense that you could actually measure their heartbeats coming into sync.
Yes, it's true. It's true. There's a vibration that only happens when you sing. When you sing something that you're passionate about and it's a beautiful melody, it can carry people along, and I hope some of the songs on this album will do the same thing when you listen to them. There really are songs that people know but sound very, very different.
Yeah. I've been told we need to play in some Beauty and the Beast as well. How did you find that film?
I was living a Disney life for 6 months. It's fantastic. And bringing to life in a human form a character that people have known from this very famous animation was absolute joy, and the world loved it. We travelled with it and we took it around different countries and it had the same reaction everywhere I went, and now it's the character that most people remember me for. And kids now know who I was. Before this, they didn't really know me,
What's the incidence of recognition on the set?
Oh, 3 years old upwards,
Wow.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable.
When the press conference was running, we were talking about life on the road, which, endlessly appears glamorous to people who don't have to endure it, but actually it's not all that fun.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not going to moan about it. I could be doing something way worse, but living out of a suitcase for maybe 10 months of the year and not having the creature comforts and being able to do the things that everybody else gets to do, see their friends, see their families. I sacrifice that a lot of the time because of being on the road, but, it's...
Does it have a shelf life? Do you get to the end of it and think, I'm hacked off with this now, I want to...
No, I try and balance it out. I mean, I'm still loving what I do. I really love what I do. I'm very lucky to do it, to tell stories for a living and, entertain people. But it's finding a balance. It's hard to find a balance in my business, but, I try and do that, and I'm taking a trip to for Christmas and going away. It's a time of year that actors don't really work very much in film.
Thought that was most of the year. Look, we've plugged your album. I'm going to plug our studios at Elstree, which are going to be built fairly soon. 2,000 jobs, £3 billion investment in the British film and content production industry. Rude state of health at the moment in the UK.
Very much so. Probably better than any time before. I mean, it's. We make some of the biggest movies in the world. We shot Beauty and the Beast at Shepperton. And, you know, big Hollywood movies are shot not just in the UK, but I just did Alienist, the second season of The Alienist, which we shot in Budapest. Europe and the UK, we're all, you know, we're next like the big Hollywood, really. We make all the movies, big movies.
And you've still got an appetite for the big films?
I have 2020 is packed for me with film projects and two exciting projects I'm producing as well. So I'm mixing all that up, and then I'm taking this on tour in April. I'm doing four big dates, one at the Palladium in London in April, late April. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm just juggling the lot, you know, and staying busy, keep me out of mischief.
Speaking of keeping out of mischief, if you could just tell Sarah to come and collect her
signed
CD.
Sarah's just got herself a signed CD. Here we go. Who is Sarah?
She works in the gallery. What do you do in there, Sarah? I'm never quite sure. Co-directing.
What do you do?
She might come by, actually, in a bit. Luke Evans, thanks very much indeed. Thanks for coming.